Friday, May 1st, 2026. The world woke up today expecting a signature, but instead, we got a total rejection. While diplomats in Switzerland and Pakistan were polishing the final draft of a ceasefire, Donald Trump just walked away from the table. The headlines are screaming about a failed peace, but I've been digging into the classified cables, and the real reason for this pivot isn't just about terms. It's about the total collapse of the security architecture in the Middle East. Stay with me, because in this 10-act deep dive, I am going to show you why the White House just went nuclear on diplomacy and the secret deployment of the Iron Dome that proves this war is about to enter a much more dangerous phase. According to breaking reports from CNBC, President Trump has officially rejected the latest Iran peace deal. Despite weeks of intense pressure from European and Asian allies, the administration maintains that the proposal was insufficient and failed to address Iran's ballistic missile program or its enrichment levels. This isn't just a delay, it's a total reset. By walking away today, the U.S. is signaling that Operation Iron Sentinel is no longer a temporary blockade. It is now a permanent strategic reality for the global economy. To understand the gravity of this, we have to look at the money. As of this morning, official Pentagon records confirm the direct military cost of this war has hit $25 billion in just over 60 days. That is nearly $400 million a day. While the public is focused on the front lines, the Treasury is dealing with a fiscal black hole. We are burning through munitions and capital at a rate that is making the initial shaky economy warnings from April look optimistic. Here's the part the mainstream media is just starting to catch. The New York Times is reporting a massive secret movement of military tech. In a desperate bid to protect global energy flows, the U.S. has facilitated the deployment of Israeli Iron Dome batteries to the United Arab Emirates. This is unprecedented. It shows that the threat to the oil fields is so severe that traditional alliances are being rewritten in real time. If the Iron Dome is being moved to the Emirates, it means the U.S. expects a massive missile escalation against energy infrastructure any moment now. While the diplomatic world is in chaos, the ground war in Lebanon remains a graveyard for tanks. CBS News reports that despite the heavy bombardment, a ceasefire on the Israel-Lebanon border remains elusive. Hezbollah's tactical resilience has forced a stalemate that is draining U.S. and Israeli resources. The quick win that was promised in February has vanished, replaced by a war of attrition that is eating through billions in hardware every single week. The Strait of Hormuz remains the ultimate lever. Trump's rejection of the peace deal has sent oil markets into a frenzy. Every drop of oil that manages to leave the Gulf is now carrying a war premium. As the naval blockade tightens, the risk of a miscalculation in these narrow waters is at an all-time high. The White House's stance is clear: total control of the strait or total economic war. There is no middle ground left. Financial experts are sounding the alarm. The U.S. economy was already struggling, but this morning, new data suggests we are heading for a real trouble scenario. With gas prices soaring and the war bill mounting, consumer confidence has cratered. The rejection of the peace deal today was a signal to the markets that the inflation tax of this war is here to stay for the foreseeable future. Behind closed doors, the tone is even darker. Sources inside the Pentagon are beginning to admit that the destruction of high-tech assets like the billion-dollar radar systems lost in April cannot be easily replaced. We are seeing the limits of the American military-industrial complex. We have the technology, but we no longer have the surplus to sustain a multi-front war against a motivated, asymmetric adversary. In the next 72 hours, watch for the Iranian response to Trump's rejection. If Tehran perceives this as a final door closing, we could see a massive surge in enrichment or a direct strike on the newly placed Iron Dome batteries in the UAE. Also, watch the domestic markets. If the Dow breaks its current support level, the political pressure on Trump to return to the table will become unbearable. The decision to reject the peace deal today was a gamble of historic proportions. Trump is betting that maximum pressure will eventually force a total surrender. But with $25 billion already gone and the war expanding into a regional missile defense crisis, the cost of being wrong is total economic collapse. I read the document so you don't have to. If you want to stay ahead of the next classified drop, hit like and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow.